Oh, near where we think there may have been an old wharf. Well, this is a typical rock stake. This one was used repeatedly. You can see how the head is very mushroomed. They would be anchored into rock, and then you knock it out and continue on down the line. You could also anchor it into rock, pull a ship ashore. You could pull a ship offshore. Yes, you anchor your boat out in the ocean. You bring your heavy stuff to shore. Then you move it with that yeah, that's right. Or you drag stuff ashore with this. How far away was it from the bag seal? Not very far. I would say maybe 50 feet. It makes it kind of plausible, then, that was used for hauling. A lot of the rock stakes and wedges like this were seen a lot. Used from 1710 to 1740, a ship's anchor spike, perhaps used in the unloading of cargo and dating between 1710 and 1740. If so, could it help identify just who may have been behind the Oak Island mystery? What's really interesting is, it appears to be a ship's log of the French fleet that was coming over in 1746 to take back Acadia. 3 years ago, a ship's log dating back to 1746 was discovered in the Nova Scotia archives. It recounted a failed French expedition to reclaim Nova Scotia from the British that was led by the Duc d'Anville, a nobleman from southern France whose family lineage could be traced back to the order of the Knights Templar. They're actually talking about the vast amount of treasure they have on board. What made the ship's log compelling to the Oak Island team was that it reported a secondary mission to hide a vast treasure on a wooded island. The wind died down. We anchored for the night. The great quantity of treasure on this vessel makes it unwise to jeopardize it in any engagement with the enemy. September 8, it has been agreed that a deep pit be dug and treasure securely buried. The pit to have a secret entrance by a tunnel from the shore. The Duc d'Anville theory certainly fits with these tools. So made in 1740, used in 1746 is entirely possible. Could this spike, found in the same area as the potentially ancient cargo bag seal, be connected to an 18th century French mission to bury treasure? And if so, could these finds also help explain the mysterious tunnel that the team encountered one day ago in the money pit? That's a good data point. Then, all right, good stuff. We're going home with some answers. Very good. All right, we'll be back. They have gathered in the war room to discuss an exciting development, one which they hope will shed new light on the origin of their most incredible find to date, the mysterious lead cross. Over here is some of the most well-known carvings of Dom. And there are hundreds, perhaps even thousands of carvings on the walls of that prison. Deep carvings of the Virgin Mary with a child Jesus, rather ordinary crosses. And one of those carvings certainly looks like that very cross. And I would be willing to bet that you could take that and put it in the wall of the prison and it would line up perfectly. Wow. All it takes is one good find though. We saved the best till last. That does sound different to me too. It does. Just west of the swamp on Lot 32, they continue their search for important clues. Going to have to get the rocks out here. Hey, mate, this one could be tough. Bo, that is just... Yeah, and nay, but it can't run. Let me just get that out of there. Yeah, I'm going to take that out. All right. Oh yeah, been trapped there a while. Look at that. I'm going to pull it out, mate. What have we got here? The hell is that? The size of that? That is one big spike. Look at the size of that. Looks like a railroad spike. No. It's too. I think it's too big to be a railroad spike. I mean, it's very, very heavy as well. It's like an old wharf pin or something like that. Don't know what the heck it's doing out here. Well, you know what, we think there's a wharf. And we think it was over there. But we don't really know that. It could have been right here. More possible evidence of a ship's wharf on Lot 32. And in the same area where the team found a potentially ancient cargo bag seal 1 year ago. The burning question then becomes, what happened to the cargo? Could the money pit or the swamp soon provide the answer? Is it iron? Yeah, it's iron, and more than likely raw iron. I don't really want to find more spikes on this island, but this particular one is incredibly massive, and it was way deep in the soil, so it's been there a long time. We'll put it in the XRF, we'll have Carmen Legg look at it, probably Christopher Russo. We'll see what they all say. Okay, mate, all right. Tag has a big spike, later that afternoon. Hey Carmen. Carmen, hello, see you. How you doing today? Good. Like that sound, like that smell. They have traveled some 50 miles north to Northville Farm in Centerville, Nova Scotia, to meet with blacksmithing expert Carmen Lake. Carmen, we have some more of our treasures that we need identified here. Oh wonderful, I love looking at them. It was found on lot 32 by my dad. I find almost nothing, so I'm really quite proud of this. You found this one. Lot 32 is on the south side of the island, close to the swamp. Tell me what you found that's important enough to rewrite history. That medieval cross, you mean the cross? Okay, this has been ascertained to have antiquity, right? Yes, 1400, is that correct? Yep, this is around 600 years old. Well, it was mined 600 years ago. Where was it mined? South of France, best we know at this juncture. South of France, yes. So that doesn't mean that this was here 600 years ago. No, it was in France 600 years ago and arrived here at an undetermined date, of course. Correct. Was this found underground? It was found in Smith's Cove. There's the man who found it. With your shovel? Yeah. You were able to uncover it. Oh, I don't do my own digging. I've got all these guys to dig for me. But yeah, Rick and I were on Smith's Cove Beach and Rick dug that out. Holy shamily. All right, it's a cross. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is an old cross. Is this worth anything? It could be. That could be part of the treasure that we're looking for. Doesn't have to be gold and silver. It could be some fantastic religious treasure, and I'm hoping it is. Well, even the cynic in me says, how many of those have you seen in North America? I've never seen. Neither have we, who put all this here. Do you have any concrete ideas, any of you? Opinions? What are your theories? What are you thinking? Templars. That's where I'm going. You all believe Templars. Because the Templars seems to be the prevalent idea. I would love it to be something associated with the Templars because 300 years they go from 9 knights to rivaling the monarchy and the Vatican for power and influence, right? And then they're gone. How wonderful to fill those pages of history. You know, the Templars are a great answer in that we know they were marked for destruction and many of them ran as quickly as possible to escape death by the French king. Wasn't it King Philip the Fair, King Philip? And many of them were put to death. But many Templars escaped. Where did they go? If I were a Templar, I'd have gone to Oak Island immediately. We went to the famous Templar prison in France. Dom, there was a walled city in France. Yes. At the gate there's a tower. Dom, that's the name? Oh, that's the name. DME. Dom. I am DOUMB. Come in. But within the walls of that prison, where up to 70 Templar knights were imprisoned. They knew at that point they would never see their freedom again. And you can see lots of evidence of how they passed their time, which was by making carvings in the walls to sustain them spiritually. So, guys, everybody is well aware of the cross. You know, someone smiling as we speak, he's made sure everybody knows about it. Well, we've got something for you to look at, yeah. Very nice. 6 weeks ago, arrangements were made for the cross to be tested at the University of New Brunswick using a process known as laser ablation. A microscopically small portion of the cross was irradiated with a laser beam in an effort to determine not only the exact chemical makeup of the cross, but where the lead may have come from. The results were astounding. So, the lead cross is not from North America. Well, now, with this evidence, if you will, it's not North American lead. It certainly doesn't eliminate the possibility that this is indeed a Templar connection. So in order to further the testing, contact was made with the German Mining Museum. A call is made. Hello, hi guys, how you doing? Good, how are you? A geochemist at the German Mining Museum in the city of Bochum, established in 1930. The museum boasts a preeminent research archive in the field of mining archaeology and is renowned for its vast database of metals and other mineral deposits throughout the ancient world. So, as you can probably understand, we're somewhat on pins and needles, hoping to hear what you have to tell us. So if you be again so kind, we're very anxious. Yeah, so I compared the late isotope data of the cross that you gave me with my database of ore bodies and metals here somehow related to European deposits where archaeologists know medieval mining took place, and I think I found the metal there. Really? And time period wise, you think it's pre-15th century then? I think it's pre-5th century. Yes. Wow, you nailed it. Yep. Fantastic. This could be Templar connected. So, can you name a specific city or region? Most probably the area of two mountain ranges of southern France. the Cévennes and the so-called Montagne Noire. It's like 20 miles by 20 miles in the area of Rennes-le-Château. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's exactly where we were. Wow. 4 years ago, a visit was made to Rennes-le-Château, a village in southern France that has strong connections to the Knights Templar dating back to the 13th century. My name is Monty, nice to meet you. There, they met with a man named Toby Diebler, described as a modern-day Templar grandmother. When asked where one should search if they were going to look for the treasure of the Knights Templar today, the answer was simple and confident. You would look on Oak Island, that's for sure. It was his belief that members of the Knights Templar moved priceless religious artifacts to Rennes-le-Château in the 14th century for safekeeping, before eventually transporting them to Scotland and, later, to Oak Island.